Welcome to, well, I guess, what, Decks Revisited? Decks Revisited. I'm just going to explore some different ways of building a deck and constructing the deck. And I made two decks here. This is a deck, existing deck, and I've added another deck this is what part of the project is. And so the question is, how can you go, how do you go about making these decks? I think there are several different ways, and I'll just show you how I did it, and then I'm going to see if there are advantages to the way I'm doing it over what someone else would do, or another way of doing it. First of all, I call this what do I even call this? I call this a porch. If I call this a deck, it's going to frame with deck planking. If I call it something that, it's got to do with the framing. I think it's very important that if I cut a section through here, I think, and the deck is stepped down 2 inches from the main house, I think what you're going to see is you're going to see that, and this is something to really pay attention to, and it's, oh, no, I didn't pay very close attention to that one, did I? I guess it's sort of, on this one, it's sort of, this is existing. And so I guess I didn't go ahead and do it. But this is the new deck that I built. And since I called it, oh shit, man, it didn't even work. It built it wrong. I'm wrong. I can't, oh, what did I call this? I've dealt with this before. Look, the deck joist, the new deck joist, sit on top of that wall. Obviously, I called it the wrong thing. What did I call it? U. Oh, I should call it a. Now this is something that's really weird. Suppose I call it a porch, okay? Structure, that's right. Floor structure, that's right. Yes. No. Now watch what happens. Watch how this frames differently. So I had to call it a porch. Yeah. Now it's framed correctly. See? Now those joists are going to be off of a ledger. So I had to call it a porch. And I don't think I'd noticed this before. I thought the walls always framed on the upper level. So it was weird. And I don't give most of my rooms a name. I mean, you look at this family room. I don't think I named it. It's probably unspecified. I mean, maybe I should give it a name. Maybe that's the problem. But there are very few rooms that I give names to. Garages, porches, decks for sure, open to belows, and everything else is unspecified because it pretty much behaves the same way with the exception of I don't know, the finishes. And I do the finishes myself on that. So anyway. So, oh, and by the way, now I have, since I changed the name, I have to come over here and get the roof and ceiling off of it. Yeah. Okay, so everything's copacetic, okay? Everything. Oh, by the way, this is kind of cool. This is the David Michael nano walls. Watch this. You see, I put these symbols. I'm gonna make it open. So what I do is I have David Michaels. See that? Now that nano door's open. Now if I come over here and put that door on, which is the closed door. See, I got doors, gates, doors, nano closed, nano open. Now I'm going to take off the open one and make it closed. See, now it's closed. So it's kind of cool. Anyway, just a little side note. So how did I build a deck? This is how I built, this is the deck the new deck I built, U. I call it a deck, I guess, or a porch, or I call it a porch, not a deck, sorry. It is a deck, but I had to call it a porch or it's going to build differently. I don't have a ceiling or roof over it. Notice the rough ceiling, 17 inches. That controls the height of this wall. I did not use railing walls. Okay? This is the way I'm just telling you how I did it, and then I'm going to try different ways of doing it. Okay? And then what I did, so that controlled the height of the wall. But then what I did, tab, 100, 0. I put this cap on it. It's a piece solid cap. Now I'm going to experiment with using a molding, okay? But I didn't yet. And then the problem, and this is the wall. And the reason why I have to put that cap on there is because this wall shows up with a fill on it. And now if I want to put a scupper in here, and I do want to put a scupper in here, It's going to be a 6x6 scupper or 4x4, I don't care. A casing. I'm going to take off the casing. And I don't want a sill, so let's just see what happens. Okay? Now there's my scupper. You see that? See how that scupper kind of goes through? It's kind of cool, isn't it? Now, suppose, okay, so I've got to finish telling you how I built this. And what I would do is I would simply open this up and say, I'd probably put it on its own layer, U, label, and change 4x4 scupper. You know what I'm saying, scupper. S-C-U-P-P-E-R, okay? I got a scupper. I guess I hadn't gotten around to putting the scupper on there yet, but I'll put a scupper. And then what I did is I built the molding, the railing itself is a molding polyline. Tab, there it is right there. Control-C, Control-V, I'll stick it right there. It's a molding polyline. And it gave me a, see here it is right here. And how's that mold? It's a molding polyline U, and the molding that's attached is this right here, and that is it's a symbol. If I knew what it was, I think it's a molding symbol, if I'm not mistaken. And I control the height of it. It's 24 inches high. I can make it 60 inches high if I want, which controls the. See how big that is now? So it kind of controls the height of the railing on top of whatever wall I want to use. U. So the molding, I'm putting the molding on at verticals at 125. Why at 125? That's the top of my wall. That's the top of my wall. Watch this. Well, anyway, that's the top of the wall. And then I made it a 60-inch high, and which shouldn't be right. It should be, what, 18 or 20? I don't know what it is, what it really should be. To get a 42-inch high railing, we have to have a 42-inch high railing. Now, suppose I want this deck to have like a 12-inch pony wall around it, U. I would make the rough ceiling 12. You're going to watch that go down. No, I'm going to make it 6. No, I'm going to make it 12. That's fine, 12. You're going to watch all the walls go down. See all those walls just went down? Now, I look at this, U, the floor's at 107 plus 12 is 119. So this should be at 120. U, 120. That's that cap that I just put on there, right? And it just dropped down. Now, if I move it back 100 inches, minus 100, you're going to see that it goes back on top of the deck and it covers up that wall. See, there it is. And now the railing's wrong now because I have to drop that down, right? So U, I'm going to drop it down to, what was it? What was the top of this? What was the top of this thing? U. The top was at 120. So I want this molding to be at U molding 120. But I dropped it down 5 inches, so I have to make the railing 5 inches taller, so it's at the same height again. See? There it is. And that's how I do that. And I think it's working for me, okay? And now what doesn't work right now? Well, what happened is tab, I had to go to that molding, U, line style, front group, move to front group, done. Now it's on top. And it reads very, very well. And part of the problem with doing these decks is actually getting this stuff to read right. Oh, I didn't start my timer. Cancel. What do you think? I've been talking for 5 minutes already? I'll give my next one. So that's in essence how I build it. These are actually walls. They are not railings. Now, why don't I use a railing? Okay, I think this goes back a long time, and I don't know. I forgot why, but I think I know why. I'm gonna see if I can do it. 8 tab 200. I think that'll do it. Close enough. So suppose I take this off. Now I have this. Okay, I'll call it a railing. Okay, I'll call this is the upstairs deck. I'm at the upstairs deck. Suppose I call that a railing. First of all, let's find out how tall that is. U. The railing is, the ceiling's 34 inches, so it's a 34-inch high. See, it's not Dakota anymore. I mean, this was built a long time ago, so it's, okay, 34. So I need a 34-inch high railing, okay? That's what I need to build. So let's just go ahead and make this 34-inch high railing. I'll call it a railing. Rails, automatic width, 0. It's going to default to 1/16. It's solid. This is how I would do the railing, I guess. Solid. And 34 inches. Now let's see why I don't like to do that. I think I know why. Okay, it's the same thing. It reads the same and everything, okay? But now let's go down and get my scupper. Let's go down and get my scupper. Control C, because I don't think you can put a scupper in a railing wall. That's the point. Control V. Yep. That's what happens. You can't control the height of that door opening. I don't think. You can't control the height. So that's why I use walls right there. That's the exact reason. And I know you could build this wall out of a molding polyline and all that other stuff. But that's not, if I cut a section, it doesn't show the studs. So I got to build it out of a wall. I can't use a railing because these scuppers go all the way up to the top. And what's the difference between what I'm doing and what this is? I don't know. I guess if I thought hard enough, I can come up with a reason why I should use a railing instead of a wall. But as of now, that's why I use that. And I have to do this right here. Now, let's back up a second and say, well, you know, I'm building these railing caps out of P-solids. Why don't I build it out of a rail? Well, let's see. Control C. Go up here. I'm going to put this railing right. Control V right there. And I'm going to make this thing, I'm going to make it 48 inches tall, okay? Molding is 48 inches tall. And I'm going to, just for ease of sake, I'm going to put it right on the deck here, okay? Oh, the deck's at 218. So I'm going to put this molding at 218. Yes. Yes, Matt, come on in. Yes, absolutely.
Do you have a air handler above? I'm trying to figure out where the air handler is. This and what thermostat controls this?
Sorry, guys. So anyway, I'm just going to mess around with this railing right here, and I'm going to put this 9 right. Okay, the purpose of this. Hang on. 9. Okay, got me? So you can see my railing right there, right? Now here's the question. Should I think about using another molding on this railing instead of this cap that I've got? And this is new to me, so I don't know. So molding, add molding, go to my library, my moldings, molding 1, okay. The height is going to be 2 inches. It's going to be, you know what, cap, 8. And the vertical is going to be adjusted 34 inches from the bottom of the molding because I'm getting up at the top of the wall, okay? I'll make it 35 just to make sure I get up there. And I'm not going to rotate it horizontally yet. And the material is going to be plan material, granite. Okay, perfect. So let's see what we got. I don't see it. Did I not make it high enough? And the molding's at 218. The height is 218 to the bottom. Molding number 1. Height is 2. Vertical is 35. Okay, why don't I see it? That's the question. Control C, Control V. What did I do wrong? Wow, where is it? Oh, it's way down here. Why don't I know what I'm doing half the time? Oh, that's 218. Oh, because I didn't put the molding at, I put the bottom at, stop it. I'm going to put the whole molding at 218. So molding number 1, the railing should be at 0 at the bottom. Railing number 1 should be 35 inches from the bottom. Okay, now it makes sense. That's it right there. So let's try that one more time. Sorry about this, guys. So, yeah, okay. I'm about to show you the disadvantage of doing what I'm doing right now. You. Wow. Okay. The fill. The question is, where's the fill? Where's the fill? I guess what I'm getting at is I don't have a fill on that thing. See, this is really the look I want. That's really the look I want. I did make that molding number 2 just a little too high. Molding 1 it should be, what, 34 inches? It's probably better, or 34.2. I don't know. See, now it's just kind of sitting right on top of the wall, pretty much. Should be, anyway, still too high. And so that's the cap. But here's the deal. And I thought, notice how well this reads right here. Control C, Control C, Control V. Does that have a fill on it? No. Moldings don't have fills. That's the issue. Materials, and I kind of forget about what you can and can't do with these things. And so it's just sort of a review. So that's the reason why that doesn't work very well for me. That's the reason why it doesn't work for me very well. Let me think. Okay. Sum this up. I can build a railing out. The wall for the railing wall, especially since it's solid, has to be a certain type of a wall, right? And so the question is, do you build it out of a railing or do you build it out of a wall? I build it out of a wall for really the main reason, the scupper. I can get a scupper in there like this. You can't this way. Can I put a window? Can I put a window in this deck? Let's just try that real quick. How about a pass-through? There it is. I'm going to make the pass-through U. I'm going to make it floor to top. I'm going to make it 12 inches, and I'll make it 4 inches high. Now let's see what happens. There you go. So you can do so my argument's not very good, is it? I can make my scupper U. I can make my scupper 6 out of a window or a pass-through. Okay? So maybe my argument isn't very good. So maybe I can go back to making this out of, the door doesn't work. The window would work. I like that. So what's the advantage of using a railing? I don't know. I guess because I don't have to put a ceiling on it. Hey, right, oh, here I is, right here, yeah. But no matter what, I'm still going to have to use this piece solid to cover up that wall, right? Am I missing something here? Because how else do I show this? Okay, here's the issue with this. Okay, now you can say, well, you can change your railing wall to a different wall type where all the middle lines are white, so they don't show up and don't give it a fill. I mean, you could do that. But the problem with that is when I send it to my framing plan, I use this as my framing plan, and I don't use my finishes for my framing plan. I mean, I don't use my finishes. Then this wall doesn't show up because all my lines are controlled by the line weight and line color. So that doesn't work for me. So no matter what, I have to, yeah, that doesn't work for me. Yeah. Yeah, it will never work for me. It will never work for me. Am I right on that? I think I am. Yeah, it's just too much. This is easier to use, and it has to be a piece solid. Molding won't work because I don't have a fill on a molding, and I get a real nice 2D representation of what's going on right here with this molding pile line to represent the rail, and then I had the cap on top. And you're really going to have a cap anyway, right? You put some kind of caps, and you might want to have a different material. So you got to put a cap on there anyway. Could be a molding, but the molding doesn't give it a fill, so you have to go with a piece solid. So I suppose I can make these out of railings if I want. Well, anyway, you can make it out of railings. Okay, I'm done. Well, let's look at what the actual framing looks like. Let's see if that still works okay. Yeah, okay. See how I framed that scupper on the lower deck that's the door and a wall? It looks good, right? And there should be some. Here's a question: why don't I see my plywood? I swear to God, half the time I see the plywood, half the time I don't. Right? Rooms. I am so confused on this thing. Rooms. Okay, now what do you think I'm going to get? Nothing. How about if I show floors? Wait, FLO, floor surfaces. Now what do you think I'm going to get? You think I'm going to get plywood? I'm going to get carpet. Carpet and all that other stuff. It's baffling to me, I swear. Oh, and so, by the way, and see, that's how that door framed. It goes all the way up. Not good. I don't like that. So the doors don't work, but you can put a window in there. And I don't think I'd realize that. Anyway, that's that. Good job. Good job. I mean, this is a good review for me. And hopefully it helped you guys out. Yeah, see, I would just take this right here and move it. Take this and move this back 100 inches. Was it 100 or 200? Minus 200. Yeah, there it is. And this is, yeah. That's just a little cap that goes on top. And now if I want to put my railing, molding, no, I think it's, what is it? I think it's walls, railings. I think is that it? No, that's not it. I forgot what layer my, can you believe I forgot what layer this stuff is on? Oh, it's on, because I just made it. What about this one? Did I just leave that on moldings? I never leave these things on moldings. Maybe I did. What a nitwit. I did. I usually put those on their own layer so I can distinguish it. So maybe I just forgot to do it. Anyway, that's the end.